I'm here today with Beatrice Chiauzzi. She's the groom of Emanuele Camilli. She takes care of his horses every day. How did you start working with horses?
To be honest, I always kind of wanted to work with horses. My family is not a horse family to begin with. I had my first horse when I was 18 and I got that horse with my own money. So I kind of knew that horses was not going to be a future for me. So then I went to university, I studied architecture, I got a degree in architecture. And then one day, out of the blue, a friend of mine asked me, do you want to come to the show with me to help me out? And I said, yeah, why not? Perfect. So I went to the show with this one friend that was actually riding the young horses of another Italian rider, Riccardo Pisani. I went with him, to this show with him. And then the week after, I get a call from Riccardo and he was like, oh, do you want to come to the show with me this weekend? Yeah, why not? So I did my first international show as a groom with Riccardo. And then in that occasion, he asked me if I wanted to go work for him as a groom, and actually more than whatever was needed in the stable. So if I had to ride, I had to ride. If I had to groom, I had to groom. And so yeah, that's kind of how it started. Very randomly, I would say. This is not a job you can do forever. Looking on the long term, it was a good thing that this was not my first option, so that in this way, whenever I'm tired of this job, I still have a plan B. That was originally plan A, but now turned into plan B.
What's your typical day like?
It kind of varies a little bit, or whether I'm at the show or I'm at home, or if I'm at the show, but there is no show. For example, like today. Today, my day was I just woke up in the morning, get to the stable, feed the horses, mark them out, start hand walking, and then ride them. So normally I try to get them out of the box at least twice per day to kind of get them out of the box after they eat every time. So like here I have 4 horses and I know that I cannot ride 4 horses in one morning. So my normal plan is to walk 1, ride 3, give them food, ride the one that I hand walk in the morning, and then hand walk the others. Meanwhile, there is all the side things like water and keep them happy and keep them clean and all those things. So that's kind of how my day here works when there is no show. When there is the show, it's a little bit more different because I come in the morning. My horses, they do a lot of physical therapies. I have this blanket that I put on that does massages and does magnetotherapy and stuff like that. So they do that. Emanuele comes and flats them before the classes. They hand walk. They do a variety of things. It's completely different. And then when there is no show, of course, there is all the clipping and the packing the truck for the next show and organizing the next show and thinking about everything like vaccination and food and it's a lot of things.
What's the most stressful part during the show?
Maybe when we're at the show, the most stressful part is not to be late in the ring. Mm-hmm. That's for me is I always start to get the horses ready like half an hour before I have to be in the ring, and I still sometimes manage to be late because I get lost in, maybe I should put the mane a little bit more this way, or maybe I should clean the saddle more, and then I have to go and I'm late. So that's really stressful for me.
How many horses are you taking care of right now?
So I have 4 here in Alshaka. And then at home we have 5 more that we take care of. It's me and another girl. And then there is the father from Emanuele that is also helping with the riding and stuff and in organization at home together with this other girl that has the same name as me, which is very funny. She is now at home taking care of these 5 horses with the father of Emanuele, and then there is a few younger horses at the stable, but I don't take care of those. It would be a little bit too much.
Is there a particular horse you have a special bond with?
I kind of tend to bond with all of them for different reasons and different ways. So, for example, for me, Odense is the horse of the first time. So he's the horse I did the first 5-star as a groom. It's the horse that I did the first Europeans with. It's the horse of the Olympics. We did the Olympics together. Sometimes I kind of feel like in the past years, we spent so much time together that I could say that I've become his person and he's become my horse. There is a lot of things that he would only allow me to do. Stupid things like giving paste in the mouth. He is a little bit special with that, but if I go in the box and I just put the syringe in the mouth, he's happy with that. If someone else does it, he's a little bit more on the defense. There is so many things that are a little bit weird about. And then there is Chaco's girl. She has such a huge personality that you cannot not love her. She is amazing. Then we have Chacareno. Chacareno, I've seen, the first ever show I did with Emanuele was just me and Chacareno doing a 7-year-old. And he was a baby, very baby. And now I see him jump Super Grand Prix in Prague. For me, you see all the work come together. So they all have a special place in my heart for different reasons.
What's the first thing that you look in the morning when you see the horse in the morning? What's the first thing that you notice?
To be honest, it's more them noticing me. So the first thing in the morning, I know that the moment I step into the stable, they will all be with their heads out and just screaming because they saw me and now they want the food. So I know that when I come in the morning and they have their head out of the window, everything is fine because they they're good. They know that I'm coming and they want the food. So everything is good.
Is there a sign that you notice that tells you that a horse is non-stop 100% that day?
Yeah, because in the end, these horses, like I spend so much time with them that I know everything about them. And I know that there is some things that they do that might signify that they have some kind of something is wrong. Like last year, I was at the show alone with Chaka's girl a lot. We went to Riyadh for the Global and she was not alone anymore. Chakareno was with us. She was really mad. Like what I noticed is that she was mad because she was just looking at me straight in the eyes and taking up everything she had around and just throwing it on the ground. So that signified for me that she was mad. Like she told me I'm mad.
What makes a rider easy to work with?
Every rider kind of has his preferences like when it comes to a groom. Emanuele appreciates my work, but maybe if I was working with someone else, that other person might not think I'm good at my job. But what works for me and Emanuele is kind of the fact that he trusts me 100%. He has absolute trust in me. And of course, sometimes there is a little bit of, arguing, but like silly things. But in the end, what works is that he trusts me. So I have both responsibility on the horses, but also I can do whatever I think it's right. So this is what I think makes us like a good team and that it works, like he doesn't even have to tell me what I have to do. I already know. And he knows that he doesn't have to tell me because I already know. So in both sense, I think that's perfect for us. It's working.
What do you think is the best quality to do this job?
You have to have passion. You cannot do it for the money. If you do it for the money, you don't put in the passion. This is a hard job. Like, for example, here, I come in the morning at 6 and most days I don't leave before 10 in the evening. I don't have lunch. But to me, that is okay because this is what I like to do and I'm passionate about it. I could do what I do in half the time if I didn't have the passion. Like, do it very fast and rushly, like, chop, finish, done. To be out of the stable at 6, but this is not how I want to do the job. And this is also how I don't think the job should be done because in the end, we're talking about animals. So you have to put in the passion and they know when you put in the passion and when you don't. 100%. I'm sure of that.
Have you ever noticed that a horse will change accordingly to the rider's mindset? For example, when there is some big competition, so there are nerves and pressure.
For sure, they know when there is competition time. Also, they know when I'm riding them and when Emanuele is riding them. They for sure know. But at the same time, the goal here is also to make them as comfortable and as relaxed as possible in every single occasion. I'm quite lucky to have horses that with time, they learn to trust me and to trust Emanuele and everything. So whenever there is a stressful situation, they kind of know that if we're not stressed, they shouldn't either. In the end, this is what they're used to kind of do. They know that they just have to go their warm-up, they have to go in, they have to jump a few jumps, they have to come out, get the cookies, and that's it. So I wouldn't say they get stressed or anything like that.
Is there a message that you would like riders to hear?
To be honest, I'm very happy with my rider and everything, but in general, riders should sometimes be a little bit more appreciative of their grooms because we really do everything for them. Basically, my life revolves around making his dream come true, to be honest. So all riders should kind of acknowledge a little bit more their grooms. And I would say, especially in Italy. In Italy, the situation is not as it is in the rest of the world. Like most of them, they have these grooms that are just like the people who put the saddle on, which is not what we are in the end, because we take care of everything. We know the horses. And if you treat your groom as not your equal, but someone that is part of your team and your teammate, then everything will go so much easier and so much smoother.
You have the feeling that the role is often overlooked?
Yes, 100%. 100%. Absolutely. I think that I was lucky enough to end up in a situation where I started with him and we went to 5-star, So I kind of ended up in a very good situation with very good shows. But it could also not happen. But I don't think that a groom that doesn't do international shows and only does national should be treated less than a groom that does 5-star shows. Job is the same. We all do the same job. We are all equals. And probably someone that only ever did national shows, it actually has more experience than me. So they should be treated as equal and as teammates exactly as I am.
Where do you see your path going for the next years?
I kind of go with where life takes me. For now, I kind of accomplished already a lot in my job. We did Europeans, we did the Olympics, we won 5-star Grand Prix, and we did a lot of things, It would be lovely to go to Aachen this year. I would love to do a World Championship. I would love to do another Olympic Games. That would be also really nice. But I don't know if I will do this job forever, of course. Sometimes I find myself thinking, what will I do next? And if I will want to stay in the horse industry, what I want to do. So I kind of think that once I'm kind of happy with all I did, and I'm happy with all we achieved. I probably would love to just relax a little bit more and maybe stay at home and like organize from behind the scene a little bit more, like stable manager. That would be cool. Doing what I'm doing now, but in a more chill and relaxed way, and not going and running all the time, because here I'm always just, today I'm here, tomorrow I'm in the US, the next day I'm in Mexico, just a little bit more relaxed. That would be nice.
What is your opinion regarding ethics in the equestrian sport?
What I noticed traveling the world, so I've been to Mexico, I've been to Saudi Arabia, I've been to the Emirates, I've been here, I've been all over Europe. And what I notice is that even if we always do FEI shows and the rules should always be the same, they're definitely not. What I notice is that in Europe and the US, in some richer contexts, the horses are treated very good and like they're very good taken care of. But I've been to shows where my horses had, this is something stupid, but like I had a good bedding, good food, always water, always hay and stuff like that. And then my neighbors had the horses in dirty boxes and no water and not so much meal. And nobody says anything about that. But then if I go to the ring and for example, I have the flesh from the nose and it is a little bit too tight, then that is a big drama. But I swear to you, my horses are having a better life than me. So what I think that especially the FEI should do is take a little bit more into consideration how horses are living more than how you present the horses in the warm-up. Because if I have the flesh a little bit too tight, of course it's wrong, but that's for like 1 hour. And then the horse goes back into their boxes, rolling into clean shaving, eating, drinking, and be happy. If I go to the ring with a noseband that it's not tight or anything, but then my horse go back to the stable and it's in a dirty box, no water, that's not a better situation. I think that's worse than the previous situation I told you about. I see that there is a lot of people, and this really makes me so mad. Maybe go to the show with like 5 horses and they don't take good care of them. So I personally think it would be better to just go with less horses, take better care of them. And then when you have more money, because in the end it's all a matter of money, you take more horses. That would be perfect because they deserve a good life. They do so much for us.
Is there a funny moment that you would like to share?
It's not really a funny moment, but it's like very explicative of the relationship I have with the horses. So Odense is a special horse, and he's special in every aspect of his life. He doesn't like to stay alone. Whenever I go to the show with 2 horses, if I take out of the box the other horse, he will go completely mental because he doesn't want to stay alone. So Olympic Games, of course, you cannot bring a second horse. You have to be alone on your own. We were lucky enough that Aiken Sato was also going, and we're like, he was stable in Chocomole. I was like 15 minutes away. So we decided to do the trip together to Paris. So we loaded 2 horses, Odense was totally fine with traveling with another horse. And then we went to the location and there was no chance he was going to stay in the box alone. So I had to unload the truck with Odense with the rope on his neck, just looking at me because he wouldn't stay alone in his box. And he was just there, quiet, just waiting for me to be finished. And then when finally the other horses arrived, so he had, on one side he had a tack room, on the other side he had the horse. I think he was a Colombian guy, but I could be wrong. Anyway, he had another horse. And so the only way to keep Odense quiet the whole show was to leave him with the door open, and I had to sit on my chair just waiting for him and not to go crazy whenever the other horse was leaving. So if I was there sleeping, then everything was fine. If I was not there and the other horse would leave, total drama. Absolute drama. To go back to one of your first question, I think, to be honest, Odense is my heart. He is the one.
Thank you so much for sharing your story and your insight with me today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.